It's warm out here in the desert. It is 08:38. What is it, May 12th? 2023. 26. Why my sound go mute? The main device when I said that shit. We're going to talk about witches. We're going to talk about magic. I'm going to give you some honesty right now. I've had two edibles, probably about 20 minutes apart in the last 30 minutes. And I am medicating. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm supposed to be leaving around noon. It may be a little bit later just because the homie is asleep and I'm not going to leave without saying goodbye to him. Or we don't say goodbye either. We say, I love you. Uh, See you soon. Wow. And peace. And that tends to be it. And it's because being married to the military the majority of my life in some form or fashion, you never know when you're going to see someone again or if. So leaving the door open by saying, I love you and I'll see you soon encourages return. And that's what we're talking about here and spiritual gifts and magic. When we understand that words spoken are spells casted, then that's where we get this magic demographic that is today's industry celebrity. If you are looking at the Met Gala, if you're looking at Beyonce, if you're seeing the pyrotechniques, pyre is the original word for fire when you're speaking in a Gaelic language, which was the language of your angels. Because the angels you think of were created by otherwise Anglicans. That's why the angles matter as much as angels. Let's go back and focus on black. Before we labeled people black, it was simply a color. From that color comes everything by way of light refraction, color theory. We get back to me and understanding that color is nothing more than rhythm, so to speak. It's a ribbon in the sky for our love. Now, a blind man sang that song. Why can people, certain ones in humanity, speak telepathically? Because there are people who would otherwise be nonverbal were it not for me, you see, tapping into their spiritual energy or frequency by way of resonance and recognition, not by way of interference or involvement. There's a difference. When you recognize a kindred spirit, they are more willing to open up to you, period. And sometimes they do so by allowing their hearts to sing. And I'm going to bring it back here once more. Again, the fold, compressing. See how it keeps going up. And when my son here showed a speech impediment and dexterity issue, I began asking the question. And because we were in the space of the military, we had a certain level of privilege, which gave me access to things. Knowledge being key, you see. I understood that because my son physically was showing symptoms, some type of other cognitive ability, disability, and or ability, you see. We always presume that it is an underperformance because certain things are happening in the physical, not recognizing that mentally it's just that his mind was moving faster than his mouth did. Okay, that's the stutter. That's the speech impediment. We as parents have to teach our children to enunciate. That's why we see a lot of nonverbal children today, because there are not parents at home enough to pick up the slack after they get speech therapy, occupational therapy, to ensure that that continues to go. He was chewing gum, right? His younger brother always had access to coffee or caffeine because he had uh, reactive airway disease. And I couldn't always guarantee where mold would be, right? So the only thing I could do was have a rescue inhaler that I didn't really care for, and coffee, which is a stimulant. It opens up the airways and allows him to breathe. So we could get him a nebulizer treatment, because if he come in contact with that, he needed something to help get the spores out. That's where the cannabis piece comes in, medically speaking. I understood back then that mold spores had interacted with these two children, causing them to have cognitive developmental issues. All three, actually, because they grew up in military housing, much of which had Chinese drywall in it. And we would come to find, while they were living in housing with their father and I was in culinary school, that that was impacting their health, well being, and growth. Okay. So when COVID hit, my approach to it was with that understanding and recognizing that cannabis is an expectorant. It's going to make you cough. So when you see me online over there and I say, make sure you get in 4 big inhales and you cough and you spit up the ookie, because that is where the spores are. And if you do that enough, I set out little cups over the course of it, and I could see me getting rid of a host of things that were attacking my body. Eventually, we get rid of those things. There's no need to test it. I know that the majority of it is the COVID trying to get in and cause an infection. Right? COVID is just a spore, a cootie, a virus. Yet, if you've got some other type of thing, immunosuppressed system, right? And I do, by way of fibromyalgia, cancer, and wasting syndrome, and those things, it's easier for you to be infected. However, when you are healthy otherwise, so when you eat appropriately, when you rest appropriately, when you exercise, and then make use of cannabis as medicine before recreation, you survive COVID, cancer, wasting syndrome, diabetes, high cholesterol, and a host of other things. And I am a living witness of a 30-year journey, from watching my mother pass with stomach cancer to being diagnosed with cancer to sitting here in this moment. Which brings me to the other thing, intellectual property. I understand all of this and I can explain to you fire magic as I did, and we are only at the 8 minute and 49 second mark. Who else can do that for you? Give you clarity, understanding, and then go and give you a visual aid by way of Game of Thrones, which brings our president right into the fold. During his first campaign and administration, he chose Game of Thrones as his platform. Winter's coming early, ladies and gentlemen. They wanted me to be Daenerys, the mother of dragons. I said I would never sacrifice my children, nor myself. I am here to help, not at the cost of my identity, my legacy, or my seed. See? So as long as you're president, this country, the state, and the city continue to steal from me directly without feeding me, sheltering me, clothing me, and my seeds. Bitch, please. Bitch, please now. Y'all out there in the streets about Alex Preddy and what's her name? Renee Good. Well, fine and dandy. This is a crucial conflict, bitch. I'm smoking on hay today. Hey, let's talk about it. My ex, when I chose to send the children to be with him, and that's why I didn't tell them I had cancer for awareness, hmm, came and took all of our things, added insult to injury by putting their dogs in a kill shelter. Then took them to Atlanta, Georgia, along with my most intimate adult thing, and did magic over all of us. See, because the four of us, we innocent of his criminality. I'm guessing that them tattoos on his back been attacking his ass lately. Put something on your body you don't believe in. Call down righteous judgment and see if you don't get bit in the head. That's the mind bender. Bender. Told you. You've been watching my life all your life. Your celebrities are wannabes. And who they want to be is me. See? One of the two men from Outcast went to school with my ex-husband. Have a friend in common, from what I understand. Get a boy a hand. Atlanta, Georgia is the home of Tri-Cities High School, where Candy Burris went to school. Why is it that I meet Candy Burris's manager at the restaurant that I'm working at in Durham, North Carolina, before COVID, before she goes on television? Oh shit now. Wait a minute. Why does she get into selling sex toys, if not sex magic? Why is it the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the only housewife is me? And I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, bitch. See? A true and living titan. I'm a Memphian by blood, not relation. So when you go worshiping Glorilla, thinking she a killer, well, it's about to be a thriller in Manila. Damn sure gonna be a seat, fella. I figure might as well make my entry while the entry fee is free. See, freedom ain't free, and y'all can't be free without me. If y'all try to drop one more label on me, it's gonna be some dreadhead Jesus in your lobby. Peace.